Pelutet. Lane 6, Rideau's Rowan Hardy-Kavanaugh and Courtney Spratt. Lane 7, Masqua's Hannah Campbell and Jana Peachy.
So Rowan Hardy-Kavanaugh, actually, she was a kayaker last summer, and she is now a canoer, and she raced on the national team this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So she switched disciplines just like that in the course of a year, and it's clearly proving successful because we've heard a lot about Rowan Hardy-Kavanaugh over the past couple days.
That's when all those working practices and C4 practices pay off. When you're able to make a big switch like that and really commit to a completely different training program and starting from the bottom up.
Speaking of making a switch, I noticed from Burnaby in that boat, Zafia LaPlante, a longtime member of the Mississauga Canoe Club, but since going out to BC in the summers now and deciding to go work and coach out in BC, decides that, do you know what, she's part of that club now, and Burnaby is going to be the club that she paddles for now at Nationals as well, although her sister and all of her previous teammates still at Mississauga.
And Mississauga was her second club after she was at the North Bay Canoe Club.
Lots of changes there for Zafia LaPlante, but regardless, still being able to be 20 years old and still being in the sport is, I find it's a kind of a big thing. And you'll start to see, you see the numbers start to drop off once you get to junior, specifically in the sea boats. You see a little bit of a dip when people go to university and when they decide that maybe paddling can't be their life anymore.
Yeah, these athletes are definitely, when they're in it and they're training at that top level, that is their life. And they work everything around their training schedule, including school. So you'll see a lot of these top performing athletes, their university track is usually 6-7 years.
And we have a clean start and a great start there by Rideau's Rowan Hardy-Kavanaugh and Courtney Spratt. And it looks like we've got a couple boats there in pretty much in it's hard to tell from our angle, I'll be completely honest. They're heading into the 400 meter mark just right now. But it does look like lane 6, Rideau's Hardy-Kavanaugh and Spratt still growing a significant lead for themselves.
Yeah, it looks like Masqua is pretty close up there too, maybe about a boat back, taking it up on the inside in lane 7. You can see that it's going to be lane 4 is giving it a good run too from Toba.
Always the best when we do have a close and tight finish at the end there. And that is Toba's Sandra Page and Naomi Stevens. Toba, as I mentioned before, 2016 champions of this event. The record holder, she's over at the World Championships. We've talked to her about her lots, as she has many records here on this course. Laurence Vincent Lapointe, and she's an exceptional paddler. As we were saying before, kind of unfortunate that Worlds had to line up at the same time as Nationals. We love to see that incredible competition, but obviously they can't complain. They're over representing our country on the world stage.
And we're sure they're watching along on the broadcast right now. We've been getting some feedback from them, so it's great that they're still watching out all their teammates at home at their home clubs, doing their best and racing down the course.
Heading down into this last 100 meters, it looks like the leaders from the start, Rideau's Rowan Hardy-Kavanaugh and Courtney Spratt, still holding on, starting to push a little harder at the end here to grow their lead. But it looks like Toba, Sandra Page, and Naomi Stevens have moved themselves into a nice, comfortable second place position.
And you can see that the person in the back is always slightly behind coming out of the water. They're actually steering the boat to make sure the boat goes down straight. So you'll see that they're just a touch behind coming and finishing off their stroke.
Yeah, a major difference, obviously, between the canoe and the kayak boats. And that will be Rideau's Rowan Hardy-Kavanaugh and Courtney Spratt finishing first. Toba going home with the silver. And in lane 3, that looks like Point Claire coming in for the bronze.
And it looks like they had a great second half as they just climbed up and just started passing crews throughout the race.
A great and strong finish by all the athletes. We even see some with life jackets there in lane 7 from Masqua, Hannah Campbell, and Jana Peachy. As we've said, a lot of different age groups we see on the course, especially once you get into the junior and senior level races.
Yeah, so all these athletes can race with older age groups, but they can't race with anything younger.
So maybe you could explain, because I'm sure it causes lots of confusion with, you have been in a World Cup, in World Championships, yet you still were racing in a junior boat today. So do you want to explain how that works, just for those that are watching that may not understand how canoe kayak determines whether you're a junior or a senior?
Yeah, so it's based on a bit of a point system.